The best music for hard-working people. Get the job done with Radio.
And now your featured presentation.
Hey there, rockers! Welcome to Bands, the good, bad, and the ugly with Dr. Dog on the show where we get real about the ups and downs of band life. Your host, Dr. Dog, is locked and loaded. So let's do this.
one and only Dr. Dog here, welcoming you to Bands. The good, bad, and the ugly. Bringing you the ins and outs, ups and downs of band life. So let's get to it. Let's rock and roll.
The song you just heard was 14 Stitches by Core of I.O. And the doctor's guests are Core of I.O. How you guys doing tonight?
Yeah, all good. All good. All good, Doc. All
good. That's awesome, guys. That's awesome. Well, tell the doc and the listeners about Core of I.O.
Well, I'd say the first thing that immediately springs to my mind is that we are 4 human beings that play musical instruments. That is what we do. We don't have any electronics. We don't have, there's no backing tracks. There's very minimal effects. I mean, Luke's got quite a sizable pedal board, right? But, you know, my pedal board is a tuner and a noise suppressor. And that's it. We're 4 human beings that play instruments to the best of our ability. That's Core of I.O.
That's one phenomenal answer, because I agree with every word you just said, and that's the way it should be. Plain and simple, because you love the music and you play because you love it, and you answered it perfectly. So tell the doc and listeners what's on your agenda, what's coming up. You're going to do some releases, I know, and you've done some releases recently, haven't you?
Yeah. We've just finished touring an EP that we put out a few months ago, maybe a month ago. It was called Part 1 IO. You can get it on all streaming platforms for free. It's on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Or you could go to our Bandcamp and purchase the download, which would be very kind of you. But yeah, so we've just done that and we've toured it. It was 5 tracks. And our intentions for the first half of 2024 is to record and release 2 singles, which will give us some ammunition to book more gigs and try and hit the festival circuit next summer.
That's great. You guys like being out on the road?
We're a live band. We are
awesome.
A live band. That's our biggest strength. Yeah, I've always said, for me personally, that I go to recording studios because I have to jump through the hoops that the music industry places. But I'd rather just gig every night. Yeah, I'd rather get out there and get people knowing who we are and raise our profile through multiple gigs all the time.
It's a different thing being in the studio, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to create a product, whereas like playing live, you're going and doing the thing that you...
Oh man, one thing I hate, Doc, right, and completely passionate about it, is when you go and watch a live band, and they try to recreate the CD or recreate the recording.
You know, I hate that too, dude. That's my biggest fucking complaint is they sound great on the CD or you know, they're digital, and then you go hear them and it's like, what the... It just sounds nothing like it.
Backing tracks and all the BBs are on backing tracks. Like, I'd rather hear a member of the band hitting the BVs, or maybe not actually nailing them, but still doing it, than I would rather hear a laptop singing at me.
Yeah,
I can listen to that at home. I don't need to pay money and go and watch live music. Yeah, it's
And you know, I'm
really great, aren't they? Yeah,
I'm really impressed with what you said too, because you don't hear this very often. Believe me, I don't. About we don't use all this technical and all this DAW and software to run our stuff through it and loop it and add this and that. You guys do it live, so I just like you. We just got pedals, and that's back in the day, dude. That's old school shit. So.
We have technical problems without the tech.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know what would happen if we had technology. Like
it wouldn't be worth it. Yeah, man, we just
No, you know what? I agree 100%. 100%. So, you know, speaking of that, you guys, again, you're on the road a lot. You love being on the road. You love touring, and that's just phenomenal. I wish more bands did that, but. All musicians, all bands have come across those venues that their stage is designed for 2 people maybe three if you squeeze them in real tight. And you guys have a pretty good band, pretty good sized band. So tell us about a venue that you've run across that it's like, holy moly, how are we going to fit on this?
Well, there's been a few, but yeah, the one that springs to mind the most is quite local to us. It's just down the road. It's called La Havana. It's in Chichester. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. All right, you know, I'm not bad mouthing the place here, but it's like it's underground. It's like caves. You know, I'm 6 foot, and you have to play it like that. Right, so
I'm fine.
yeah, but you know, Richard's playing drums. He's got no space behind him. He's got no elbow room. All right, he has to put elbows forward at all times.
More vertically impaired.
Yeah, and you know, because it's cave shaped, it's an arch shape. It's not too bad for me because I'm standing at the front. I mean, Gareth here playing bass, he's taller than I am, right? But he's got a shoulder as well. So yeah, that's La Havana, but it's been a good place to play. It's done us proud. We've got a decent local following. So when we self-promote there sometimes, we put a show on and we can make a little bit of money.
It's been funny getting nearly concussed from banging your head against the wall.
Yeah.
Smashing your headstock against it.
But bumping into each other's headstocks, and now 2 of us are out of tune. Right, yeah, you've got to deal with that mid-song. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it does, especially on a stage that size. So, how often do you guys, and I know it's hard to say, so I'm not saying, well, give me an exact number, but out of the year, how often are you guys on the road?
Well, we've actually slowed the amount that we've gigged recently, but that's because, you know, we're getting older and that thing called life, you know, gets in the way.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we first started gigging, man, it was just constant. It was all the time. But then we learned the lesson that it's better to pay quality gigs than quantity of not great.
How many was it that first year? I swear it was like
The first few years, it was in the hundreds, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we probably did 200 gigs in the first 2 or 3 years, and then
That's a lot.
250 since. But now we've been a band for 12 years. We've been this line we've been for 12 years together.
That's
And we're
great.
still on the first step of the ladder.
Well, you know, that's good. If you guys can stay together that long, my band's been together since '86, same member. So when you can get a bunch of guys together that you can bond and be brothers with, and put all the ups and downs, the indifferences, and be a band and be brothers, then that's phenomenal. You guys keep that bond together because that's non-existent. Believe me, I talk to a lot of bands that it's like, well, we're on our 6th drummer or our 6th, you know, bass player, and you're going, okay. But it happens, you know, it happens. And speaking of that, here's a phenomenal song by Core of I.O. with Things I Should Have Said.
Just
Awesome song, guys. Awesome. So, where do you come up with the creativity? Let me back that up. When you guys create your tracks, tell me how you put it together. Is it somebody walks in and says, "This is it. Do it just like this. It's my song. I want it done exactly like this." Or does somebody bring in a song and say, "Boom, this is it. Everybody put their parts into it. Everybody make it core of IO instead of just making it mine."
It's definitely not a one-man show, that's for sure. But with regards to musicality, I can't hold a candle to these boys. They, I am at my full stretch to play these songs musically. So when it comes to the writing, I do the lyrics and the melody. So I'm going to sit back for a minute and I'll let these boys take over.
Very modest.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah, such a nice guy.
Now give me that lean in. There you go, bud.
It's really close to my really heavy. So writing process.
So you're on there.
I'm out.
Yeah, look at the thing.
You can see your face there, man.
Wait,
Built for radio, not TV.
turn it slightly whilst.
Yeah, so writing process is a lot of kind of piecing together a verse and chorus, maybe a middle part, but then it's bouncing off each other. So the usual thing is I'll try and get some demo, pop it over, and sometimes it comes back complete from someone else. Or I noticed, because what Gareth does, he doesn't normally stick to root notes. He will play around with certain ideas or add tags onto certain bits, and it will just kind of bounce off each other. So he might write an extra tags like, okay, I've got another riff which can come in here. Then we kind of get it into a practice room space. We'll bring Rich in, who has his input. Rich will write some guitar parts, and you're like, that's brilliant. I'm not even going to change that.
At like fret 50.
Yeah.
So you should note here that Rich is our drummer here, this man to my left. But yeah, he writes music, he writes guitar parts as well. And he's not just...
For a drummer, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, really, and I'm a drummer, so I can say that without saying, being prejudiced. It's like, that's freaking good, dude, because I sure the hell can't do that. So,
I make it impossible to play, but like I try as hard as I can.
I tried to do that and sing backups in the studio one time, and they kicked my ass out. So, what did I tell you? I'm only good at one thing, I guess. That's it, but that's okay. I'm happy. But so you write songs and bring it in. So we're in forming choruses and lyrics and so where's the music come in?
It usually starts from, like, I think you're probably, Luke over here is responsible for probably most of the original ideas.
But it's never the same. But it goes through the process, I think.
It gets vetted in different ways, and
it's a bit like Chinese whispers through the band.
Yeah. And I think, like, when you get like a riff through or a groove or something, like you either have an idea for it or you don't. So like it depends on like where it goes. There's so many different ways it can be completed. But I think you're probably responsible for most initial ideas.
Occasionally, but I've had a moment like the last EP where I sent Gareth a very basic idea. I think I recorded a basic idea and blood came out of it. And Gareth comes back and like, I wrote a whole song. Like, I thought that idea was just going to throw in the bin.
Yeah, Gareth's like a chief editor.
Like some things happen like that. It was a nice surprise where it's like a week later, it's like, oh, cool. Like, I honestly didn't have any expectations for that song. I was just going to get rid of it and try and write something new. Just throw away.
You're your own harshest critic, mate.
Yeah. So I think the thing with Luke's parts that he brings in, they're never really things that I've heard before. So they're not really stock. They don't really give an implication of like, this is the metal riff, this is this section. It's all quite open. So there's a lot that you can play with and have different ideas with and send it around to other people. And like they were saying, Chinese whispers, you just sort of builds into something new. So everything sounds quite...
It's the argument over where I think I wrote a really nice chorus and Bob was like, that's a verse. It's clearly not. I've clearly built the entire song into this part and it's like a good 20 seconds. Like there's enough gaps for melody.
And I'm like, it's not a chorus.
And then you've got to rewrite another chorus and then it's like, oh, that's a nice verse.
And then you just end up with like multiple choruses.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I tried to do with melody. I tried to make every section a chorus. But then there's obviously the standout section, which is the main chorus.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of chorus A and chorus B. Big fan of that. You know, you give everyone what they think is a chorus, and then you move into the next section. And like, oh my God, there's an even bigger chorus. I like to try and do that. But with that, when Luke's saying, no, yeah, that's the chorus, I'm like, no, that's not the chorus. That's a verse. It's because I can hear the melody. I don't know where it comes from. I've always said it's like someone's sitting behind me, dropping melodies into my head, because I don't think that I come up with them. I just hear them, and I go, yeah, I can hear that melody. I can hear that. But with writing melody, I do the ABBA technique, as rock and roll as ABBA are. If I don't record any of it, so if I can't remember it, it's not good enough. So then when I come back to that same piece of music, if I remember the melody, it's good enough. If I don't remember the melody, I write something new. And that's how melody goes. So
you're gonna regret that when you have like writer's block one moment. Well, why didn't I record any of my car singing sessions on the way to work?
I think if I had writer's block, then it would mean that what I was writing wasn't good enough to be there anyway. So
maybe
just get a laptop.
Yeah. Well, and then right. So we've gone through the process of the music, and then the melody. When I write the melody, I write it with what I call nonsense words. They don't make sense. They're just words that flow together, and they give nice softness when it needs it, or harshness when it needs it. But the words as a sentence don't make sense. And then I will sit down with my notebook, which is like my chaise lounge. I don't need a therapist. Any hard times I've had, you know, some people dwell on that stuff. I don't. I channel it down my arm and through a pen onto a piece of paper, and then sing about it. So that's how my lyrics are, and that's the one theme that stayed constant throughout our 12 years as a band and our 6 or 7 releases, is that I may have been in different periods of my life and may have been in different emotional states during that time, but the one constant is that my lyrics are my feelings and my emotions on a piece of paper that I then sing. And then people question me about them, and that makes me feel uncomfortable. But that is what it is. That's my style of writing, and it won't change. That's what I do. Well,
if I didn't have my mask on, you'd see my mouth just dropped and wide open, because it's like it's refreshing to hear what you just said. All you guys have said, because that's old school to me, and that's the way old school thinks, and that's the way old school feels about their music. And like you said, if I don't remember it, maybe it wasn't good enough to remember. So then you create something that is good enough to remember. But I'll tell you guys, the doctor's been in this business a long time, and I've talked to a lot of bands, a lot of artists throughout my career, and you guys are very impressive. I just got to say that. Very, very impressive in the way that you think about your music, the way you feel about your music, the way you put your music together. It just reminds me, like I said, a lot of my band, but a lot of old school ethics of a band putting their music together, and that's phenomenal. So, you know, giving that said, and what you said to the doc, tell us, before we get into the bad and the ugly aspects of what you've encountered, what advice would you give the newbie, you know, the baby bands coming out that are just starting the journey, like you did 12 years ago? What advice would you give them that maybe you wish somebody had given to you?
Get a proper job. You want some money? Get a proper job.
I've got one. This is just from a recent string of gigs and some other ones. If you're just starting out in a band, make sure to watch the other bands playing, because there's a lot you can learn. And it's also how we learned a lot as well. Starting out, we would stay and watch every single band, because you pick up so much of how to be a good band and also what not to do. That's what I would say. That's how to get good experience, and it costs nothing to do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
support the scene as well.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'll definitely put forward is I've heard so many people in my time say, "Do not be in a band with your friends," and
who has said that?
I had a lot of them.
What?
Yeah, definitely. So don't, because your bandmates should be like work colleagues. They're wrong. Those people that have told me that were wrong. We're 12 years, and we haven't massively raised our profile. We haven't played a gig outside of the UK, but we're still friends. And all these years later, here we are, still doing it, still going. We'll get there. Yeah, but whereas if we were just work colleagues, it would have fizzled out many years ago.
It's meant to be what you guys are doing. You're meant to be together, and there is no time frame on your music. So when you say we're going to get there, you're already there. You're just going to keep climbing up that ladder higher and higher. So you have to look at it with the perseverance and the heart you guys have in your music. You're there, and I hope the new bands listen to that. And one thing I'd add is that what you guys have said is be true to yourselves, be true to your music. And I think if you do that and you love what you put out, then you'll make it. You'll hit those ceilings and then go above them. And there's nothing that's going to stop you. So, giving that said, here is Done by Core of IO. Doctor likes that one. That's a good one. I like that a lot. So most musicians find in many different ways, being in a working band transforms and shapes their identity and their lives. And you guys have been doing this 12 years, probably longer, maybe separately or before you guys formed. So how has it affected each of your lives and maybe transformed them, maybe put you in a different path? But tell us about being in a working band, how that affects your guys' lives.
All right, should we go from our left to right? You want to start this one, Richard?
Yeah. Around there.
We're going to spin it around. See
bit
your
there.
beautiful face in there, mate. Yeah, beautiful.
That's right. Get it in there.
Don't know if I can fit my 5 head onto the
That'll
screen.
do. There we go.
Oh, I've already forgotten the question. Shit.
Oh, was it drummer going on?
Yeah.
How's being in a working band affected and shaped your life?
I mean, long-term, like effort towards something. I think there's probably like a lot of people that who don't spend a long time trying to work on something. So I think like when you get that payoff, when you've like released a like new EP and you've like put blood, sweat and tears into getting shit together, like when that actually comes off and you're proud of it at the end of it, there's not many things that compare to that level of like gratification,
sense of achievement.
Yeah. And like it's not all like fun and games doing it either. Like it's hard.
Bands split up in studios, don't they? Yeah.
And you have to like sacrifice stuff to do it. And I think that, and also like I would like to speak for us all when I say like I think we're all pretty like proud of it, and like actually working towards something that you love yourself, like not in a like
egotistical way.
But in a thing that
in a way it's like a baby.
Yeah. Like and you're proud to share it. That's a pretty pretty hard to beat feeling, I guess.
Yeah, I've said in other interviews exactly what you just said. Your music is like a baby that is born and you take it through its life. And even after it's matured, you still care for it and take it even further. So, that just again enforces what I said earlier about the way you guys think is phenomenal. I mean, again, I haven't run across that in a long, long time. So that's phenomenal, guys. What's the biggest misconception people have about being in a band, being in a working band, and being an independent artist?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that it's easy.
That's a good.
And that people are just naturally talented and don't work hard at stuff. That you can just have this gift. Like even the most gifted people in the world spend many, many hours honing their craft to stay at the top of their game. I think that's a common misconception, that people are just naturally just born. It's like, oh, they're an amazing violinist and they always will be, even if they don't touch a violin between gigs or anything like. I don't know. Yeah.
No.
That was a good answer, man. Yeah. People just think that some musicians are born naturally talented. They're clearly not. They've got to work
very hard,
and they have to work to maintain that level.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What about other misconceptions? What do you like if you tell some of your friends, or when you first told them and friends maybe that you meet, this is what we do. We're a working band. We're out touring. What other misconceptions do people say to you? Like, oh, you get to blank, blank, and you get to have blank, blank. And, this is going to be so awesome because you're going to be around blank, blank. What is it?
0 gangbangs so far. Nothing. Yeah, I don't know. I was expecting at least like a few, but
at least one a week would have been all right.
Yeah. It'll happen though, guys. Believe me, it'll happen. Hit the Jack Daniels enough, dude. I guarantee it'll happen. Whether you may not remember it, but it'll happen. So, but come on. So, don't they say, man, you guys are like going to be making all this money and you're going to be driving these fancy cars and You're going to be going to all
See
these
lots of
parties
boobs.
and,
Yeah.
you know, all these big titty
Yeah, you
women
know
are going to
what?
be around you.
I think backstage is a big misconception, isn't it? Like
Yes.
what people think happens backstage, and you know, what happens when I'm backstage is that I'm warming up, I'm stretching, I warm my voice up, I warm my fingers up, and I get ready to play. And people just think it's a bunch of cocaine and hookers. Well, it isn't. Oh, cocaine and groupies, I should probably say.
It used to be, though, dude. It used to be.
It used to be, mate. Yeah, unfortunately, well, it's.
I think the other misconception is a lot of like gigs, especially if like the venues or bigger support stuff is done, it's always quite stressful and rushed. You're never comfortable.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing where people think, oh, it's great, you play this gig. It's like, no, I just had like 4 hours of the most stress I've ever had. It's like, I don't know where my leads are. I haven't got my power off my pedal board. I had no time to warm up because like I was stuck in traffic and had to try and get my gear down. Like a lot of it is quite rushed and stressed, and it's like you're never in a perfect kind of playing environment compared to like when you're practicing at home. You're like, oh, that sounds great, but then you're like, oh, I'm really sweaty. And I've got this light hitting me in the eye on this stage. I need to find where I can get the difficult parts done. Yeah, so a lot of it is just kind of like staying on your feet, thinking, okay, I've practiced for this, but this is not. You've got to practice the stressful bits as well.
Yeah, we should practice with the lights off and a strobe.
Yeah, I've been trying to suggest this for a while. Heaters and a strobe light in the practice room, but like no one wants to do it. It's
That would do it. That would do it. But, you know, speaking of getting stuck, here is a phenomenal song by Core of IO named Stuck.
I can't complain.
Good song, guys. Good song. So many bands have unspoken challenges on the road for long periods of time, especially you guys. Again, you guys are freaking road kings. So how do you guys cope with the touring life and being on the road so much and all the stuff that does happen behind the scenes and that's always been a part of rock and roll, which will always be a part of rock and roll. And that's, unfortunately the drugs, which we've lost so many great artists to, over the years. So tell us how you guys deal with all the challenges that people have no idea about. And you guys have talked about, they don't have any idea about what it takes, all the hours, driving, moving the equipment, setting it up, trying to make sure you get to the gig on time. They think a limo picks you up, everything's all set up, sound check's been done. You guys go out, pick up your instruments, sit down and play, and boom, you guys leave and everybody pulls it all down and puts it away for you. That's not the truth. So
that's the total opposite.
Oh, 100%.
That's the total opposite to what it is.
100%. So tell us about those unspoken challenges that the average listener and even bands that have never been out on the road would face, and you guys do face.
I'll tell you what. I'll take this one first, if you don't mind, mate. It's the for me as a singer, I have a very delicate instrument. Right, my vocal cords, they're very delicate. You have to really look after them. You have to keep them extremely hydrated. You have to rest them all the time. You have to warm them up. You have to warm them down. But when you're gigging, it's like a 20-hour day. It's a 20-hour day with a lot of lifting equipment, a lot of transport. And when you're in a vehicle for a long time, you don't just sit there quiet. Well, that's because I'm a loudmouth. I'm a chatterbox. I don't know how to shut up. But I should learn how to shut up so I can rest my vocal cords. So, it's really important that I need to be in good shape to be able to sing. But the biggest problem I have whilst touring is a lack of sleep because the days are so long.
Yep. And
you're sleeping where you can. But really what I need is 10 hours every night in a nice, warm, comfy bed, which is a rare thing on tour.
Yeah.
Well, the warm, comfy bed's a rare thing. The 10 hours is completely unheard of. I mean, we're talking average 4 hours sleep a night when you're on tour.
If that.
And you're exhausted, and you've got to get out there and smash it. So you have to find ways to deal with that, which if anybody knows what they are, please tell me.
Really? Me too. So anybody else?
Actually, I can give an example of this weekend. So usually we share a car on a long drive. So I get quite annoyed because we try and pack everything in one vehicle. We have to Tetris it all in. But I didn't realize the fact is I was stuck in a car for 6 to 7 hours trying to get to this gig. So I was supposed to go to another part of the country the next day. That got cancelled. So I had to drive not only all the way there, but back again. It's just got no one to play who would be your hilarious imaginary band. Just on the road kind of stupid kind of conundrums. But yeah, that was a little bit annoying where it's just
well, that's
there. It's I've not seen you guys in hours. But yeah, it's a little subtle things. Yeah, the subtle things of sometimes you can be quite, I wouldn't say this band especially, it's not actually annoying spending time with each other. Some bands, they really don't like having a time where it's this is actually quite nice. Whereas being away from it's oh yeah, I've not had that joke and laugh about this. But yeah, it's a different experience.
No, you're right though. A lot of bands could never drive that long a distance together for any amount of time, without somebody wanting to get out and smash the other one. So again, you guys have a good bond. I mean, you really do, and it's really apparent that you do. And
well, we live together actually, most of us anyway. At one point in time. Yeah. So it's one of those things where I think we've already learned those rules. You knew what you're getting into.
It's in the worst of each other.
Yeah.
So how long did you guys live together?
That was a year or two, wasn't it? Would it have been about 10 years ago now?
Post uni.
All after uni.
And this doesn't include me, by the way. I haven't lived with any.
But that's
Sofa Surf. No, I did, didn't I? Yeah.
See, but again, that's a testimony of your guys' brotherhood, because again, playing together is one thing, but living together, playing together is a total different level because, people can get on each other's nerves really, really quick when they live together, when you're seeing somebody 24/7. But, and I know you guys probably had some little spats here and there. I mean, I know me and my roomies did at times, but it's just being yourself. It's saying what you want to say. It's whatever the case is. But in the end, you guys are still like this. You're still brothers, and even blood relative brothers or sisters. They still go at it sometimes. So to me, it's just a normal thing of life. But and speaking of the normal thing of life, we're going to go down the River Hard, which is a great track by Core of IO.
Looks as if we made it. Just sit tight for the long
I'm gonna have to really dig up a lot of your previous stuff because you guys put out some really great music, guys. So,
Hey, what, Doc, can I talk to you about Hit the River Hard actually?
Oh,
sure.
This is worth talking about, right?
Yes.
So when I said the one thing that's been constant through my lyrics earlier was my feelings and my emotions. But Hit the River Hard is actually the anomaly from it, because that song was about my grandfather during World War II, and it was his plane that hit the river hard. He was shot down, right? And there was 9 in that plane when it hit the river. 3 of them survived, one of them being my granddad. And I've just always been amazed by how many opportunities there were for us all to die before we were born.
Yes.
I mean, if he was one of the 6 that would have floated down the river, and not one of the 3 that some locals came and pulled him out of the plane and hid him in a church for 6 months. So it's a brilliant story, and the plane, it sat in the river for quite a few years, and then the local authorities pulled it out to clean the river, and unfortunately they still found the tail gunnerman was still strapped in his seat that had been in the river for years. But they took the landing gear out as well, and they made a monument out of it, and they've placed it next to the river. And I'm going to take my mum there next year, and we're going to go and enjoy it. So I just thought it was a brilliant story of survival and heart and brotherhood from people from different nations during World War II.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant story, and I'm fascinated and proud to have a part in it, even though I wasn't even born yet.
Well, you wouldn't have been bored if he was one of the others. It's number one. We would be having this conversation number 2. But again, it really impresses me. You talk about your lyrics and the emotion behind them, and that's the way it should be. And it should be left up to interpretation. When you say, I get a lot of questions about my songs, and it should never be, I'm going to tell you exactly, unless you want to, what it's about, because that's my feelings, that's my emotions coming out. Let them have their own emotions and feelings about it. Maybe your close people, you let them know what it's really about, but that's music. It evokes that emotion and feelings in other people, and your music does that, and you can tell it comes from a place other than just a piece of paper and a pen and just my head putting words together or whatever. It really comes from a different place, and you can tell that about your music, and that's phenomenal. I think that's what's going to drive you guys even higher, is when people really listen to it, you get that feeling. It's coming from somewhere that's connected to someone instead of, again, a piece of paper and a pencil. And that's sometimes the way a lot of songs are written. So
lyrics should be written with emotion, and some people don't know how to deal or explain their emotions. So
no,
and they just rap about nothing, and that doesn't float my boat with regards to lyrics.
No, when you said something earlier too about it goes, it goes from here down your arm to your hand to a pen, and you write it, and that's talent, and because you were saying earlier, well, I don't know where it comes from, it just comes. Well, that's just talent. I mean, and you guys are all very talented in what you do and what you create, but to me, that's a credit due to you. It's like that's a natural born talent to have when you possess that type of ability to funnel your feelings. And like you just said, a lot of people don't know how to do that. You obviously have done that for a very long time and know how to do it and know how to capture it.
But I'll tell you what, Doc, it is kind of awkward when someone says, can you explain what that means?
Right.
Because people do ask, sometimes people do ask, and I'm like, oh, wow, I totally exposed myself by saying and singing and recording that.
Right.
And now someone's asking me what it means. Oh my God. Yeah. So, that helps me on my own journey of self-discovery and self-improvement of how my mind works and how I fit into this world.
But it sounds like you release, like you said earlier too, you release a lot of the negativity and the bad stuff that goes on in your life, positive. And you release it through your songs, and then it's done, right? It's gone.
Yeah. It's like when you explain, how I would imagine someone would explain something to their therapist, and they would give them a program of how to deal with that and how to manage that and how to exercise it and and move on from it. No, I can do that pretty rapidly. Yeah, by channeling it down my arm through a pen onto a piece of paper.
You know,
Yeah.
that's phenomenal. That is, and I think any musician that's a true musician, that their talent and comes from the heart, you get that gratification, period, just by playing. I mean, if you don't, then you need to step back and look in the mirror, because you should be happy, and that gratitude of being able to play and love music so much that it moves you in a direction that a lot of people will never ever feel and know about.
Yeah.
You know, and
music and lyrics, they should not be hollow.
no,
They should not
and
be hollow. They should have depth and
it, you know what? It's coming back, and you guys are 100% proof of what the doctor's been saying, is that everything in life comes back around, whether it's fashion, music, whatever. And you guys are a perfect example of that, because you're bringing it right back around to, like I always said, I just said through the whole interview, that's old school. That's old school thinking. That's old school music. And we were so lost in technology for such a long time. And I've said it exactly what you said. I hate bands that go in the studio and they do all this compression and gain. I mean, just freaking flood their songs with all this technology and different DAW. And it comes out, oh, that's great, but they can't play it live. To me, that's not old school. To me, it's music, and I appreciate every musician, every artist, every genre, because they have a guts to go out there and do it. Doesn't mean I like it, but I appreciate it, and I love them for doing that. But you guys are the epitome of coming back around to the old school way of thinking and playing, and that's phenomenal, guys. That's phenomenal. And you know, speaking of that, through your journey, guys, you're talking 12 years plus. All artists come through with good and bad reviews and comments about your music.
yeah.
Okay. And, you know, if you're like me, it's like, I never take it personal. Never. Okay. Never, never, never. I always learn and listen to what people say. But in my heart, I know if it was good or not. But how do you handle the bad criticism or comments? That's if you get it. I can't see you getting them, but there's people out there that do give them. So tell us about it.
It's one of those things. We had a very average review recently where it was just sort of like, okay, that reviewer doesn't get us. They don't understand us. There have been some really constructive criticisms in the past where they've commented, for example, on some of the songs maybe didn't go up another notch, where they may have become more exciting. So we took that on board and took it to our next writing process. So you can sort of filter it out, whether it's constructive or whether someone just generally doesn't understand what you're about. But obviously, if you've worked so hard on something, on first glance, you're always going to feel a little bit like, okay, what have I done to that person?
Yeah, for sure.
Into kind of like, even as a listener of music, it's like sometimes I actually enjoy the craft of certain pieces of music more than the actual enjoyment of the creative output of it. So
Yes.
it's like guitar players, it's like I really like when they play guitar, but I'm not massively love their songs. But you could still, so whether the criticisms from the thing is like, I don't like the very final piece of it, the creation, but you can still pick apart the sum of all parts and enjoy certain other elements to it. So I can understand some reviewers, you can't like everything. If you do, I think maybe disingenuous sometimes, but I don't know, it's pinch yourself. You can't please everyone, you can't agree with everyone 100% of the time. So
100%.
We play music for ourselves.
So if it's like, I always look at like music where it's like, is it from an honest place? Is it from like, so again, it's like, do I really like the craft of it and the execution of it? And yeah, but I think some people don't think that way as well. I think like, it's like, I just can't stand this. So that's fine by me.
It doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
And like live shows, we've never really.
No, we played a gig recently and the band before us got booed. Literally booed. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So,
but again, it goes back to the craft and the music that you put out. And that's, again, a testimony to your band, to your music, and to your talent. So what are you going to say? I mean, if you're happy with what you're doing, you're happy with your music. And I like what you said about the criticism parts too, because a lot of bands are closed-minded and they get real pissy about anything said about their music. And even sometimes the guy that writes the music with the other bandmates get real pissy about what you say. They don't want to hear it. It's like, nope, that's it. But it's really impressive to hear you say, we listen to it, we filter it out, and then the stuff that we don't filter, we take in consideration in our next steps forward. And again, see, and I like also when you said that you go see a lot of bands and you stay there and listen to them, because that gives you an opportunity not only to watch the band, but see how the crowd reacts to the band and the different styles of bands that you watch. And you're going, well, that didn't go over so well. Wearing hoods over our heads and alien masks didn't go really well for this band. So we're going to stay away from that. Some bands, it may go great, but I love that because, again, I don't hear a lot of that we check other bands out. To be honest with you, and this is one thing that really pisses the doctor off, is that I keep hearing we have all this support from other indie artists, and I'm looking at social media and I'm looking at the posts and I'm looking down at the shares, the comments, the likes or loves, and it's like, where the hell is it? If all this support's out there for everybody, where is it? And I mean, some have a little group that that all share, but in general, all independent artists should be sharing and helping the other independent artists, and not saying, well, if I do that, maybe my audience is going to like them better than us. Well, shit, if that's the case, then they're not really your audience. And what's the big deal about listening to different bands and different genres and liking multiple stuff instead of just saying, well, I just got to like this one band? Nothing,
Yeah.
So,
it's pretty Iron Maiden fans that like one band, isn't it? Yeah. So
I like Iron Maiden.
well, I'll tell you what, if we're going to get with Iron Maiden, their first album is their best album.
Yes.
Might get slated for that, but it's true.
No, it is true. It is definitely true. And so, and we were talking just a little bit earlier about how you guys are touring and stuff. Have you guys had the opportunity, which I think all bands have, to have stayed in the nice, beautiful, nasty ass hotels or motels or venues, and even some nasty ass tour buses? So let us hear some of your road tour experiences and some of the nasty ass places you guys had to sleep or play.
Camping.
That was a great idea for a summer tour.
Yeah, we obviously, we're from the UK, Doc, so
yes,
when you tour in the summer and you think it'll be cheap to sleep in tents, so you do it, and then it rains, and not just a little bit, like beautiful British rain. Yeah. That wasn't a good idea. We didn't do it again. It was fun. There's fun, and then there's not fun. But without endorsing any specific company that's based on the internet, there is a website where people can rent out their own houses, and that's actually the way forward. It's not about hotels. It's about that Oxygen B&B place. That's where it's at. We did it the other night. We stayed in, all four of us, we stayed in a 3-bedroom detached house
with an AK-47 lamp.
Yeah, it had an AK-47 lamp, right?
But
it was warm, it was comfortable. We all had a nice place to sleep, and it cost £100 for the night for all four of us, whereas a hotel would have been 3 times that.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, times have got better. Times have definitely got better with touring, but we haven't. I mean, I remember sleeping in the middle of the aisles on a coach while trying to sleep, and it didn't really work. So we had to find a way out of those situations and find a good night's kit. But as I said to you earlier, you might find that bed, but you're not in it for long enough.
No, not as long as you want to be.
Yeah.
So, and again, going back to your live playing and your touring. So I know all bands end up in this situation one time or another. But tell us about some of the disastrous moments that you guys have had in playing on the stage, in venues, maybe even off the stage.
That's just most gigs for me. It really is most gigs.
We haven't had too many like horrific ones.
Well, no, I've had a few horrific ones. Like two gigs in a row on this tour, I snapped a string and I had to restring it myself mid-song while singing. Right? Which some people were like, wow, man, how did you do that? And I was mortified. I was like, my performance was terrible. And of course, there was the time my guitar strap broke.
I remember that one.
So I had like a 10-kilogram Gibson Les Paul. The strap didn't come off, it broke, it snapped, right? And at the time, it was between songs and I was talking, I had my hands in the air. So I didn't even have the opportunity to catch it. So it just went down and it hit the ground and the jack lead went all the way in.
Oh, no.
All the way in, right? And, needless to say, it didn't work anymore. And we still had half the set to go and I had no guitar and I had no idea what to do with my hands. I had no idea what to do. So, yeah, to answer your question, most gigs are a nightmare for me. There's always something that goes wrong.
Is this a time to bring up the naked dude? I don't know. I've been desperate to get that in.
The naked dude.
The last, I don't know, the rest of the interview.
Come on. You already brought it up, so let's get it out there.
Yeah, the naked dude. I'll let you. For me, I was actually just disgusted by it.
Wasn't it?
Well, Gareth was trying to rescue someone's pedal board breaking and tripped over and then he fell into the naked dude. So he was trying to save someone else's awful experience of playing like that. But yeah. It's the only place I've ever played a venue where we walk in and there's a man with like a cowboy hat on and a fur coat, just completely bollock naked, and some cowboy boots. And we were like, what's going on here? So we go out to like cigarettes, and everyone's like a bit weird about it. And we see the owner walk in, it's like, oh, he's going to sort this out. And he's just like, all right there, Terry, mate, how's it going? Like, what is this? So every band player, he's just bollock naked. Just
the way I could have this wrong, I might have remembered it differently, but like I swear we went
twice.
He definitely came twice. Two of our gigs.
I've said he's come to our. No, let's say that. I don't know where this is going.
I think we walked in and he was like dressed in his cowboy boots. We didn't realise he was underneath a naked guy, like I suppose we all are. But like, it was later on. I think it was. I thought it was when we were playing. And then we was like looking out into the crowd and like, oh shit.
Naked guy. Hanging out there.
Yeah. It makes the guy from Tech Fest wearing the mankini look quite
modest. quite modest, yeah. He was very, very well dressed.
At least he was covered.
Oh man, it sounds like you attract some.
Well, us Brits were a classy type, mate. Yeah, we're classy.
Oh shit, dude, that was funny. That hurts my jaws. We're gonna put this down. We're gonna spin this around on a track of Core of I.O. entitled 4 Years Later. That's a great track, guys. You know, all your songs are really good tracks, guys. And I got to give you kudos and thumbs for that. It's
I'll tell you
awesome.
what, the middle eight section of that took me 4 years to learn how to play and sing it.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
really.
in between writing.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, the amount of times I've had that middle eight on repeat whilst driving, just trying and then I had to learn how to sing over the top of that. I mean, Rich, what time signature is it in?
Fuck knows.
Yeah, fuck knows. There's something in 17/4, and then there's a bar of 11. Just
I
one
tagged it
bar,
out as well.
right? And then and then it's
1/4. Just one,
and I'm just
one,
the
one,
singer, and I have to deal with this time signature nonsense. Oh my god!
Yeah.
But yeah, that middle eight, 4 years to learn to play and sing that.
So I'm going to ask you a question, which I pretty much know the answer to already. Speaking to you to this interview, I know what the answer is going to be, but this goes out to everybody. Have you guys ever had a moment through your career that you just said, you know what, I'm done. I quit.
No.
It's not worth it. I'm not going to do it anymore.
No,
I don't think
I
so.
believe.
I don't think so.
See, that's the answer I knew. See, I already knew the answer before you even said it, because you guys strike me as somebody that's not going to give up, that loves it too much, that has the passion for it too much.
I think
Actually, can I be honest? I think it, but then you go play a show and you're like, oh, this place is rammed. People enjoy this. And then you kind of go,
Yeah.
oh, okay, it's because you've taken too much time away from playing gigs or
Yeah, COVID was big for that.
yeah.
COVID and other bits and pieces where you kind of get in your head where you're like, oh,
No,
I'm playing guitar in my bedroom on my own with no friends.
No, I can tell you what it is for me, Doc. There was when I was 18 years old, I had no idea what to do with my life. You know, I was working in a factory. You know, there's nothing going on. I played a bit of guitar. I played in a band, but you know, at the time, we were rehearsing in this room above a pub. All our gear was in a storage lockup out of town. I'd drive, get the drum kit in the car, get the amps in the car, drive back to where we were rehearsing upstairs, carry the stuff upstairs, and people wouldn't show up, right? So it wasn't great. And then I went to a music festival in the Midlands in England. It's called Download. I just went for the day. I walked in, looked at the third stage, which is a tent, which you can fit between maybe 3,000 people in it. I don't even know who was playing, and I walked in there and I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. That is what I want to do. And that was in 2004. And here I am. There's been 19 Download festivals since then. And I will play on that stage. That's it. That's why no matter all the good, all the bad and the ugly, there's never dented my belief that I will play on that stage.
Man, I love that. That's phenomenal. That's just totally phenomenal. I couldn't ask a guest to give me a better answer than what you just did. And I know each and every one of you feel the same. You don't stay together that long. You don't produce and put out the music you guys do if you don't feel the same. And that's phenomenal. And really, Guy, I'm just so impressed with your words throughout the whole interview, and all of you guys. It just reeks fucking just passion of music and playing and just, you know, enjoying your music. So,
yeah.
Well, you know, and that's a true musician, and a lot of them don't have it, and a lot of them don't make it for one reason or another, but you never give up. And I've been, like I said, in this too long to know that's definitely a truth, you know, a true statement. And the ones that hang in there, the ones that have been together for, you know, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40 years, that's a tribute to number one, their music, and to their brotherhood of staying together that long. So sometimes I can't stand somebody for 5 freaking minutes, let alone, you know, 30, 40 years. So, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's just the way it is. So tell us, and the listeners, where can we find your music, your videos, your live performances that are coming up, new releases? What's the easiest way for the listeners to connect with you guys?
Well, we we try to get it everywhere, as you have to in the music industry as it is these days. So, I mean, I can try and list this. Obviously, there's Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, Deezer. I don't know if that's in the States.
Yep.
Amazon, iTunes, Bandcamp, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitter. I try to make sure, you know, social media-wise, we're on all the platforms. And with regards to streaming platforms, yeah, try to be on all of them, because not, you know, everybody has their own preferred platform to listen to music on, so we need to try and be on all of them. But yeah, Bandcamp is where you can find our store if you'd like to support us. But if you just like to listen, it's free everywhere. As we mentioned earlier, cool. Nice catch. The market's oversaturated.
Microphone.
Damn, that was I mean, make good.
Well, as I said to you earlier, Doc, there isn't a single gig that goes by where something doesn't go wrong, and here we are.
There we go.
That's the way it is, guys. Well, listeners, you heard how to find them, where to look for them at, and also look at the dogs post, because I will be posting out information on their sites, where to go, how to find them, so on and so forth. So the doctor wants to give you guys a big thanks for coming on my show for me. I mean, I've had a great time, and believe me, phenomenal interview. I mean, for the doctor himself, phenomenal interview, guys. So thank you so much. I want to again say it's definitely appreciated, and honored to have you guys on my show.
We're honored to be on the show, Doc.
Thanks
Thank you for having us.
Spending time with us.
Yeah, and we should do it again at some point. All right.
No, we will. I was just getting ready to say that. See, you read my mind sometimes. I was getting ready to say we're going to see each other again, and we're going to have different shows. Believe me, the doc's coming up with a lot of different shows to have, and so we'll be seeing each other really, really soon. And the doctor wants to again thank Dogbone Studio, MM Radio, Magpie Sally, Matt Rustin, which is the doctor's guru computer tech, keeps me on the air. You guys keep on rocking. You guys have a great night. See you later, Corvio. The doctor's out. You guys take care of yourselves.
Cheers.
Cheers. Take care, guys. Talk to you soon.
Bands, the good, bad, and the ugly with Dr. Dog. On MM, the show where we get real about the ups and downs of band life.
To infinity and tastiness with MM Radio.